Today we actually starting our new class, Halachos of Yom Tov. Okay, and we start with what? With Sefer Shmiras Haloshon. And our topic today, evil epitomized. The Talmud states in Sota 42a, 4 groups will never be allowed to stand in the presence of Shechina, divine presence: scoffers, liars, flatterers, and those who speak Lashon Hara. Okay, so one more time: scoffers, everything must be funny, right? Liars, like some people lie for no reason. I mean, even they don't gain anything. Like flatterers, right? Because they want your attention, they will want something from you or from somebody else, right? And those who speak Lashon Hara. With regard to the last group, it is written, Tehillim 5:5, for you are not a God who desire wickedness, no evil, right? Ra. So Ra is bad evil, right? So Ra, no evil. Ra sojourns with you. Okay. So meaning no evil is sojourns with HaShem. The wickedness referred to here is that of Lashon Hara, as the psalmist goes on to say, for in their mouth there is no sincerity, and inner thoughts is treacherous. So it's verse 10. So one more time we're going to say it, right? For in their mouth there is no sincerity. So meaning that person has some kind of agenda to humiliate somebody or to get a favor from somebody, to be liked by somebody. So it's all no sincerity. The habitual speaker of Lashon Hara is called Ra, evil. As the sages state, Rabbi Chama bar Hanina said, whoever converses with his neighbor, dines with him, and then speaks Lashon Hara against him is called Ra, evil by HaShem. It's from Agadas Mishlei 12:1. So meaning what? The person being hosted by somebody else, by his friend, by his neighbor, right? And then he gets information, whatever this person told him, and then he goes and spreads this information around. That's very evil person. And unfortunately, I know some people like that. They would ask, so somebody else would new come, or like they haven't seen person for a long time. They would ask a million questions. It would be so nice, so cordial and stuff like that, just to get information. So guess what? This person leaves, and he started telling everybody what happened. Okay, so continue. Whatever words a person utters in this world are recorded above, as above. In a Medrash we find, Medrash Rabbah 6:5, let not your mouth bring guilt on your flesh. Kachalas 5:5. Meaning what? Our mouth, the words going up, right? And then the judgment comes down. Chas v'shalom. How is this? When the mouth speaks Lashon Hara, it sins against the body by bringing punishment upon it. Right? So the words of the person are examined, and the punishment comes down on this person. And do not tell the emissary that it was an error. Do not say, I will go and speak Lashon Hara, and no one but the listener will know about it. So how do you know? The listener is going to tell somebody. Maybe somebody is going to overhear. Maybe you're not going to be able to hold yourself back and tell another listener. Says the Holy One, blessed be He, know that I will send an angel, and who will stand next to you and record every word that you speak against your fellow. So when it was written, of course, it was like angels sent to every person. It was hard to imagine, hard to believe. But today, with all of the security cameras, with all of the recording equipment, it's so simple. So simple, they can track person like in a minutes, like they do face recognition, all this beautiful stuff, or whatever they for security, they can track you, right? Whatever you said, everything that you said. Okay, so today is we can imagine very, very vividly what's going on. Okay, stop here. All right, so start a new book. So here's the book. Beezrat HaShem, same series as we did for Shabbos. And we start with preface. So the preface says the laws of the Yom Tov are in many ways similar to those of Shabbos. So there are, I would put it differently, there are only few differences. There are differences, but only few of them. We have dealt with laws of Shabbos at length in previous works, right? So we work Radiance of Shabbos, Sanctuary of Shabbos, Shabbos Kitchen, Shabbos Home Volume 1, Shabbos Home Volume 2, etc. Okay. So the focus of this volume is primarily on halachas that are unique to Yom Tov. There is an area of Yom Tov different from Shabbos laws. So since not everybody were, when we learn all of these laws of Shabbos, so I'll try my best, bli neder. But of course we're not going to put all of the information, but we're going to add relative information, whatever we learned in the previous classes, so it would make more sense. However, from the laws of Shabbos, because they're exactly the same as the laws of Yom Tov. I mean, where they is the same. However, it was our original goal to provide a thorough guide to the laws of Yom Tov on a practical level, and therefore we include many laws that are commonly applicable even when they're identical to the laws of Shabbos. Okay, so he's going to give us some overview, help us with with some laws, but we're going to add. No, don't worry. Continue. The 39 categories of Melachas, labors, are defined as Shabbos prohibition applied to Yom Tov as well, although in some instances they are treated more leniently. The following are a list of those categories. So when we were, as we just recently discussed, I don't remember what was the topic, but we said it was, I remember, the question was asked, I think this week, about Melachah of erasing, right? Erasing, eating cake, right? How is it erasing, right? So we explained, and we said then that when we were in the desert during the construction of the Mishkan, we had to use, of course, the different works, right? Labors, and in Hebrew is Melachah. So Melachah is not exactly labor. So the definition is something constructive, right? Some constructive activity that was done in the Mishkan. That's the labor. So if you need, if you're going to pick up the piece of furniture, let's say, piece of furniture, can you pick up? Let's say table, like you have a very heavy table and you move from one room to another, from one floor to another, it's not going to be labor. Of course, it's not uncovered. Let's say if it's for need of the Shabbos and you're sweating and it's not feeling, it's very, very heavy, right? So it's not considered to be labor, right? But if you write one letter or two letters, that's considered to be labor. That's considered to be Melachah. The following is the list of those categories. So we're going to go through 39 categories and explain just briefly. The ones that appear in bold print are discussed in this volume. Okay, very, very interesting. Okay, the others have no unique laws pertaining to Yom Tov and are discussed in works concerning Shabbos. Okay, no problem. So we're going to say which one pertains specifically to Yom Tov. Okay, so number one is sowing. So meaning you have seeds and you plant the seeds. So all of these things that how to explain this sowing? It's so much so much to do with sowing. Okay, let's leave it. So but basic halacha was you plow the ground and you put the seed and it start growing. So meaning everything that you promote growing, right, would be prohibited under this Melachah. So meaning what? So even to put flowers, like even cut flowers into the water would be forbidden. Okay. Plowing. So plowing means to improve, right? When you plow like when you plow the land, right? So but plowing may in meaning to improve the ground, to improve something. So reaping. So you're not allowed to pick, for example, fruits from the tree, right? And that's why, and like talada, like some that out branch of this Melachah, when we're saying about combing one's hair on Shabbos, right? So that's ripping, because you might accidentally rip a hair from your head, right? Next one is gathering. So when you gather together, like harvest. Okay. Next one is threshing. So threshing in a Mishkan, threshing means that what was threshing? So you have a seed, right? And you have a husk around it. So and you thresh it, meaning to get the husk out and out of the seed. Okay. So meaning like extracting liquids would come under this prohibition. Right? For example, you want to squeeze fruits, right? So we're not allowed to squeeze fruits on Shabbos. So it would be under this prohibition, meaning that you squeeze, you extract something from that is trapped inside. That's a basic definition. So it's number 5. Number 6, winnowing. So winnowing, when people gather grains, right? So first they crush it, thresh it, and then the winnow they throw it up, right? And usually they had all of these places on a hill or something, right? So where the wind is blowing, so the wind is going to blow the chaff, right? This garbage part, and only the good part remains, the kernel. That's what we can. That's what winnowing. So winnowing, it's meaning that you select something from you separate something from something. So that's so winnowing in our situation would be to separate. Let's say so you have cluster of grapes and one is spoiled and the rest is good, or let's say two is spoiled. So you're not allowed to separate this spoiled one from the good one. So you're allowed to eat good one and leave the spoiled behind. So that's winnowing. Okay. So next one. So now, as the author say, now it comes in a bold. Bold means that it's pertain to us, like that we're going to discuss in this Sefer, meaning the selecting, right? Selecting. Okay. Now selecting, right? Okay. Now grinding. So grind means what? That you had some like big substance and you reduced to the small substance. So what was it in the Mishkans? They had to make all of the dyes to dye the skins of the sheep, right? So they had to grind the herbs, right, and then cook it in order to make dyes. Okay. So next one is baking and cooking. So exactly as we said, baking and cooking for the purpose of creating these dyes, and plus, of course, they had to bake bread in the Mishkan and other things. Okay. So that's also prohibited on Shabbos. So what is allowed on Shabbos is warming up whatever was cooked before. That's what allowed on Shabbos. But Yom Tov is different in this regard, meaning what? That you're allowed to cook on Yom Tov from the beginning to the end. Okay, that's a huge difference from between the Shabbos and Yom Tov. Okay. So next one is sharing. So sharing means that we had the skins, right? If we take the skin from the animal, hides, right? Hides. So you have to remove the hairs, so and then smooth it, right? They do it with a stone, with a special equipment, right? And they smear some cream, some whatever things they smear. So that's why we're not allowed to smear the ointments, right? Not allowed to use creams, not allowed to brush our teeth with regular toothpaste. there is a like a very liquidy toothpaste. Is it recommended? Of course, if you need it for whatever reason, you can. But you can use what we use. We use mouthwash. I mean, I think it's works the same. Okay. So next one is the whitening. So whitening, what does it mean whitening? So when we share the the wool from sheep, so in order to make a thread, right? It has to be like a unicolor, one color. What color? So they first would make it white. So all of this because all of the sheep have a different color, right? So you have to make one color white, and then you can dye in blue or red, whatever it needs to be. Okay, so that's whitening. So today we're not allowed to wash. So we're not allowed to do laundry. So for example, when you eat and something like spilled on your clothes, so you're not allowed to start removing. Of course, if it's piece of tomato, you're allowed to put take out the piece of tomato, but otherwise you just have to leave the spot alone. You're not allowed to wash it, and of course that's why we're not allowed to use sponges, because one of the steps of washing, washing in laundry, right? That you squeeze, right? That you squeeze. So that's why we're not allowed to use the sponges, and that's why we have to be careful even when we use paper towels, right? So for example, something spilled. So we will always, in my house, we have, Baruch HaShem, always extra, that's my job, to have extra paper towels, right, prepared, like ripped, prepared, like, so in case of the need, something spilled on Shabbos, Baruch HaShem, so we just put it there, so don't squeeze, like pick up with 2 fingers and put it in the garbage. So in order not to squeeze, that's whitening. Disentangling. So disentangling, it's something when something gets, I'm not sure, I don't remember how do we use like practical disentangling. It's not tying. Tying and tying knots, it's a different story. Let's leave it for now, I don't remember. So dyeing, okay, so dyeing meaning meaning you dye in a specific color. So we're not allowed to do that. So there is no dyeing with the food, right? So meaning that, for example, I have water and I want to make it sweet. I want to put some syrup, whatever, some raspberry syrup, right? And then mix. So in some sense, I just dyed the water, right? But there is no problem because dyeing does not apply to food. But some people, like in fancy schmancy, caterings. So they have on a table. On a table like colored water just for decoration. So this one, if they mix it like blue water or something, like if they mix it before Shabbos, there is no problem. On Shabbos, you're not allowed to do that. And dyeing, for example, another example, very practical example, I think, especially in for me older days, but maybe some people do it, I don't know. So it used to be popular long time ago, maybe 15, 20 years ago, to put this blue thing into your toilet bowl, right? Or like in a bowl or in a toilet itself. So every time you flush, so it's like disinfection, all of these beautiful things. So it smells good, everything is good, but not allowed to do it on Shabbos. So you're dying. So next one is spinning. So spinning is not it's not very practical. So spinning means when you're making thread, so it is this thing that you spin. Okay. Mounting a warp. So 17 and 18 and settling to heddles. So unless you're expert, you would not know. But just a summary. So when you're making your own cloth, so if you need to make your own cloth, so there is threads that go like this, like vertical, and some of them going horizontal. So there are two like there's special like primitive, but like a machine And then like I don't know, mechanism that you do from from olden days. So one is like this, one like that, and then you go like this, like that, and you make an fabric, right? So all of these things are not allowed. So today they're not practical. Nobody is going to do that, but just so you know. And says is weaving. Okay, nobody weaves. Weaving meaning that you create a thread. Is a practical application for us today. I cannot think of one, so leave it. Removing threads. Okay, also time. So this one is big one. So time, you're not allowed to tie permanent knot on Shabbos, right? So that's what they were doing in the Mishkan, right? To tie the thing like at the end, so they would not unravel. That's what they would do, right? So tying knot, for example, I think it's very practical example. There are some people that are very lazy. For whatever reason, right? And they do never untie their shoelaces. So they buy shoes once every 7 years. They tie the shoelaces, and until it's untied, they never tie it. So for a person like that, if this shoelace untied for him on Shabbos, he's not allowed to tie it back. So for a regular person who would tie and untie every time he or she takes out and puts on the shoes, there is no problem whatsoever because it's not permanent. But for that person it's permanent, so it would be forbidden. Neckties depends on the knot. I mean, it's not our topic, but depends on that. There's some knots are permanent, some of it's not permanent. So not permanent, simple knot. That's the only that I know how to tie it. Simple knot, so it's you can tie on Shabbos. Other more sophisticated you cannot. So and next Melachah 22 is untying. So untying is a separate Melachah. So you're not allowed to untie whatever you're not allowed to tie. Okay, so continue. Sewing. So sewing, of course, we know what sewing is with a needle and thread. So sewing considered to be halachically the definition when you have a needle, right? So you have two pieces of material. It could be two separate pieces, or even if you have a hole in the same material and you try to fix the hole. So in the Mishkan, what we had sometimes this what is it? The moss, I think that's what moss would eat. They liked wool. They would eat wool and create these holes in unfortunately in a paroches, in what is it, the curtains, right? So that they would make a hole bigger and they would able to fix it, right? So that's sewing is. So today sewings, like derivatives of sewing would be like combine two materials in a permanent way. So what does it mean in a permanent way? If you glue them. So glue or staple, so that's sewing. Of course, if you sew with a threaded needle, so it has to go up and down. So if you just put a pin through your clothes only once, there is no problem. But if it goes up and down, comes on the same side of the material, that's the problem. So unless you have specific intention to remove it, you're not allowed. For example, women like to wear these brooches, right? This decoration, whatever they are. Some wear on a head covering and stuff like that for decoration. There is no problem. So you can put it on Shabbos, but only with the condition that you're going to remove before the end of the Shabbos, preferably right after you stop using it. That's sewing, and plus of course there are many other things for sewing. Tearing, so tearing also not allowed on Shabbos, and of course tying, untying, sewing and tearing are also parts that we're going to discuss in this Sefer. So tearing means what, as we explained, it's for constructive purpose. So in order to sew them nicely, to fix this curtain nicely, they have to tear and then sew. So today tearing what? So we're not allowed to tear toilet paper, for example, or we're not allowed to tear paper towels or all other things. Of course, in destructive fashion, we're going to learn would be allowed. So some people, I'll give you example. Some people like to play with the napkins, right? After they finish meal, and they play with the napkins, they tear like into pieces. It's preferable not to do that, especially it could be like some images there. Some like we try not to buy these images. That's even though it looks bad and stuff like that, we try not to. Why? Because a person might get to tear it, right? And it's prohibition of Melachah of writing. But tearing is forbidden for constructive purpose. So for not constructive purpose is only rabbinically forbidden. Okay, so we try not to do it. What else? That's it. By the way, any questions before we continue? So we're going only in summary, so we have some basic idea what we're talking about. Any questions so far?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
So regarding the prohibition of ripping off, how does that apply to grapes that are attached to the branches? Usually they are sold with the branches.
Okay. So when it does not apply to food that is not attached to the ground. So this it's not this question is actually not to this Melachah, but to Melachah of reaping. So when something is attached to the ground, it would be reaping. Like reaping, like you picking the vegetables or the fruits from the place of growth. But here the tearing is something like not connected to the ground, right? And not food. There is no problem with food. So you have a piece of chicken and you want to rip like a piece of it, there is no problem. Okay.
And so I have another quick question regarding tearing. What about if one has like a band-aid that forgot to take off before Shabbos or something like that?
Band-aid is separate story. It's not so simple. So I'm going to explain why it's not so simple. It's not so simple. Okay, for ladies maybe it's less simple, but for men it's very not simple. Especially when you have this band-aid in your like on your hand when you have hairs. So because why? If you start peeling your band-aid, for sure you're going to pull some hairs. That's a big issue. As we said, it's forbidden. So unless you have no choice and it's not your intention and you need not you, somebody else, and need to apply some medicine. Otherwise, it's going to start like there is an infection there. So we try not to deal with the band-aids. That's a big issue. Band-aids is a big issue, yes. And plus another thing is, as we said, sewing. So what is sewing? We said sewing is gluing. So not only sewing with a needle and thread, but all of the attaching together two separate parts. That's the issue. And the same is especially permanently. So just one practical example about band-aid. For example, somebody cut his finger on Shabbos, right? So you're allowed to put the band-aid, but be very careful not to put one side on top of the other side. Why is that? Because first of all, so simple, when you're going to take out, let's say after Shabbos, so usually people do not care to undo it. So you just take out and throw in the garbage. And look, and in this case, you did Melachah of sewing in a permanent way, because you never undo it. But if you do like one on this side, one on that side, so when you take out the band-aid, it's going to be like open band-aid, there is no problem. So you have to be careful with this one. Very good questions. Any other questions before we continue? Okay. So those tearing we're going to discuss in this Sefer as well. Okay. Next one, 25th, trapping. So we're not allowed to trap animals, and if it's not like you want to eat this animal, so you're not allowed. For example, you have a fly, right? It's annoying, so you're not allowed to put a cup over it, right? To trap the fly. And not only this, but even other animals like house pets, right? So the problem would be, and another problem would be, right? For example, you have pet birds, right? So and you want to feed them, so you're not allowed just to open the cage. So if the bird would fly away, you'll not be able to put it back. Why? Because it's trapping the bird. So even if it's your pet, does not make any difference, right? So you open a little, cage a little, put the food, and just close the door. Understand? So, and then plus other animals. So for example, you have a cat, for example, right? And if you're going to close this cat, you have guests, right? And they have allergy on cats. Let's say I'm just making up the story, right? So and if you close this cat in a bathroom, and the cat would go crazy, so for sure it's not allowed. It's trapping the cat. So because cat feel trapped, so that's not allowed. But if you close cat or whatever dog in a big room, and he just or a cat or dog enjoy themselves in a room like in quiet, they're going to sleep. It's not trapping. So it depends on the animal, the size of the animal or insect, and the size of the room where you're trapping it, and plus how this animal feels about it. Okay. So it's also pertaining on Yom Tov, of course. So next one is shchita. So shchita is slaughtering. So when actually on Shabbos, in case of the pikuach nefesh is risk life, you let life risk. You're allowed to slaughter animal if needed. For example, somebody is like very weak, so unless a person eats this or this chicken soup, he's or she's going to chas v'shalom. Right, so we are allowed to do this shchita, but on Yom Tov we're allowed to do the shchita to begin with. I mean, especially in olden days when we did not have refrigerators, and of course the fresh meat, the fresh food. I mean, not all of the foods, right? But some foods, they have meat for sure tastes better when it's fresh, not when it's frozen over, right? So that's why our sages allowed to do shchita on Yom Tov. But today we don't do, like, all of the stores are closed unless somebody does his own shchita. But usually, like, since it takes so much time, and this Yom Tovs, like even in exile, like we've been in Yom Tov many times in Israel. I cannot just comprehend it. It's like so fast. Here in exile, we have 2 days. You have this day, that day. You just going into mood, and there you just pray in the morning, this, that, and it's over. That's it. So at night, the Yom Tov is over. So if you start like slaughtering and salting and this and that, so when exactly you're going to enjoy the Yom Tov? You understand? So that's a second reason. Okay, so next one is skinning. So skinning, like you're not allowed to take skin from this. So of course it does not apply to food, ready food. So somebody asked me what chicken skin. No, the chicken skin, it's after the fact you can eat the chicken skin. There is no problem. So salting. So salting mean for preservation reason. Preservation purposes. So for example, you would not be allowed to pickle foods on Shabbos or salt something like for a long run. So if for example you have raw fish, right, and you would salt a raw fish, salmon or something, and it's going to be ready, let's say you salt it on Yom Tov. Let's say Yom Tov starts on or Shabbos starts on Friday night. So Friday night after the candle lighting, you salt the fish, and you know that for sure that by the morning it would be like ready. Okay, so there is no problem. But only the quantity that it's reasonable for you to eat. So you're not allowed to prepare for the weekdays. So that's the salting. Salting in order for preservation. If you need cucumber, you want to salt, there is no problem. Okay. So next one, 31, is cutting to the size. So that goes Cutting to the size is it's actually like a bigger halacha is measuring. So you're not allowed to measure things. For example, you have tiles, right? So like let's say sometimes they put tiles on like styrofoam tiles, like in all places, right? In the ceiling. So it's first of all is it's like sound insulation. So like I don't know, in 70s and 80s it was popular, right? So and you know that each tile you look at, it's like it's 12 by 12, 16 by 16. Let's say you know the size. So if you count how many tiles this the width and the breadth, so you can technically know the size of the room. So it would not be allowed, right? And that's why you're not allowed. For example, you got stuck somewhere in somebody's house. You need to go to the bathroom. You need to use toilet paper and then paper, and they are not really absorbent. So I mean, not too absorbent to the extent that they have prepared pre-cut toilet paper, right? So you would not be allowed to cut on perforation. But in case in case of this specific situation, you have no choice. So you cut like in the middle of the toilet paper, but not on perforation. And same if something needed, I don't know, God forbid somebody is bleeding and you need to put something, and you have only paper towels on a roll. So cut in the middle of the paper towel, not in perforation. That's cutting to the size. So cutting to the size and measuring. So we're not measuring on Shabbos. So of course, if you need to measure something like medicine for a sick person, for a child, like that's a different story, right? Or somebody who is sick, right? You need to give exactly this medicine, like and it's like measuring cup for liquid. That's a different story. But otherwise, would not be allowed. Or you need to measure for the mitzvah. You got a new kiddush cup, and let's say you cannot drink, like so you don't feel well, so you try to drink only minimum. So of course, most of the kiddush cup is more than the minimum for sure. I don't know. I apologize. I take it back. I don't know about all of the kiddush cup, but most of them. Like all that ISO, that's what it is. All that ISO, like from kosher store you buy, it's more than the minimum. But you cannot drink that much wine, and you want to drink only the minimum of the minimum according to lenient opinion. So in this case, you need to measure. So in this case, since it's for a mitzvah purpose, you would be allowed. So now 32 is writing. Writing we explained yesterday, the day before yesterday, I remember. And raising we also explained. I'm not going to repeat. So next one, 34 is actually, have any questions before I continue? On any melachas that we just covered?
Rabbi.
Okay, go ahead.
So if we wanna, let's say that we have like an itchy scalp or something like that, if we want to scratch our head, but we want to pull a hair or something, is there a way to do it?
Usually, when you scratch your hair, when with the fingers, you're not going to pull the hair. It's very unusual, unless a person has this condition that his hairs fall off like very easily. That would be an issue. But otherwise, it's not an issue. It's not an issue if it's not probable. So I give you another example that very, very practical. So some people has for sure, but unfortunately they have a very bad gums, right? The gums. So when every time when they brush the teeth, they're going to bleed. So and bleeding is actually it's connected to this Melachah of dyeing. Right, so that dyeing meaning change the color. So you're not allowed to bleed on Shabbos. I mean, to inflict yourself a wound on Shabbos. So these people, since they know there's a high chance that they're going to bleed when they brush the teeth, right? So they're not allowed to brush the teeth on Shabbos without toothpaste, right? Even with water, not allowed, absolutely not. But other people, if maybe a person bleeds once in 4 months, 6 months, once in 2 years, so there is no problem. So since probability is very low, so we allow him to or her to brush their teeth. And same with the hair. So if you have normal hair, just to fix your hair with your hands, there is no problem. With a brush, for sure there is a problem. Or some say there is a leniency. The leniency if it's not hard brush, but a soft brush. Soft brush meaning it's like old style, made from the hairs of the animal, right? And it's would given its weight. So like if somebody brushes, like and it's not going to untangle anything, so that's not a problem. You can use that kind of brush if you know for sure that you have a strong hair, and most likely nothing is going to be pulled. But like plastic or metal brush is not allowed. Okay. Any other questions? We'll continue. Okay, so it was no problem. So continue. So if you have questions, I mean, you will be able to ask later. So number 32, writing, erasing. So we said that. Building. So this building is a big one. Building means that you're not allowed to do any step of the building process. What is the step of the building process? You're not allowed to level the ground. So you're not allowed, for example, you're not allowed to play with the ball. Of course, for adults, you're not allowed to play with the ball because you have to learn Torah. But let's say, even with a kid, so if you like play with the ball on the ground, let's say there is no grass. If you grass, that's a different problem. Most likely you're going to rip the grass, right? But let's say there is no grass, but since you bounce the ball is going to level the ground. It's a Melachah of building. So you're not allowed to attach anything to the walls, right? There is so much about buildings. So you're not allowed to. No, I actually it's a different Melachah. Okay, so building it's a lot, but and demolition also. You're not allowed to demolish. Okay, continue. So building, for example, you bought a new bed, right? So you're not allowed to assemble this bed on Shabbos. Okay, maybe that's a practical example. Okay. Next one, extinguishing. And 37 said kindling. So you're not allowed to kindle the fire on Shabbos, but you're allowed to kindle a fire on Yom Tov from pre-existing flame. You're not allowed to create new flame, but from pre-existing flame you can light the candles, right? Because in the Jasper we light candles on the first night and the second night. So you have what do you do? So there are a few ways how you can preserve the light. So you have these memorial candles that would burn for 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever you buy. Or you just leave some other candle burning, or you stove burning over like over the holidays. So from that flame you can take another flame and have your Yom Tov candles. And extinguishing is also not allowed. So and same for example, if there is a flame, like you have a memorial candle is burning, you took match, you took the flame from that candle, and you lit your candle, say the blessing, and lit the candles. So you're not allowed to extinguish this match. You have to put it down and let it extinguish by itself. So you're not allowed to kindle and not allowed to extinguish. So in the Mishkan, just in summary, in the Mishkan, what were we doing? We were doing coals. So how to make coals at home? So you burn the wood and then you extinguish it. So next time when you ignite this wood, the temperature would be higher, right? Than from regular flame, from regular dry wood, right? So I think I don't exactly remember, maybe it was for melted gold, the way I remember. Maybe I'm mistaken, for gold and silver that they were used in the Mishkan. Okay, so you need a higher temperature than, of course, for cooking something, for cooking dyes or something. Okay, so that's extinguishing and kindling. So 38. So this one is Make Bepatish. So that's one is big one. It's huge one. Striking the final blow. Striking the final blow with a hammer, meaning completing job. Whatever was it before. So in simple words, something was not usable until now. I did whatever I did, and now this object became usable. And it's not normal way of using it, right? So it's usually not disassembled. So what would be the example? For example, you have a broom, right? Broom to sweep. You have a broom head and you have a broomstick. Let's say somehow it was disassembled, so you're not allowed to assemble on Shabbos because you're creating complete product. So it's final blow. It's like you did the final step, and now this product is complete. But if the things were created this way, for example, folding chairs, so the initial design for this chair for folding tables was such that you would fold and unfold. So this prohibition does not apply, but it does apply for something like the fixing things. So you're not allowed to fix things on Shabbos, and that's why we're not allowed. That's to play musical instruments on Shabbos. Why? So, and we're not allowed to touch it. Why? Because maybe you would want to tune it, right? It was untuned, so you want to tune it better, and that's it. So it's like you're improving. So we're not allowed to improve. Okay, that was 38 and 39. It's actually carrying. Right, taking out from one domain into another domain. So in one domain there is no problem. In the private domain, meaning in your house, in your shul, and wherever you're allowed to carry. But outside on Shabbos you're not allowed to carry. But on Yom Tov there is exception. You are allowed to carry, right? But of course there is exception. Only things that you are allowed to carry. Only the things that are needed for Yom Tov. For example, if I need to go to shul, and for example I want to carry my siddur there, or I want to carry my talis there, or I don't know, whatever else I need to carry, there is no problem. The problem would be to take this talis back. That would be a problem, right? Because if you go in there, you carry in there for the purpose of the prayer. Yes, there is a legitimate use, but taking back, there is you need to rely on some leniencies, because it's not so simple. So you don't need this talis in your house, unless you're afraid that somebody is stealing this and that. That's a different story. So that's already leniencies. And when we carry on Yom Tov, so you're not obligated to count, like since the carrying is allowed, so you can carry more. For example, if you have a baby and you push in the stroller and you need to take diapers, and you know that you go in there, I don't know, to your neighbors so that the babies can play for a half an hour, 1 hour. So you need maybe 2 pair of diapers. So you can take the whole pack. You have take 25. You're not obligated to count. Okay. So that's the carrying. So let's see. Let me check time. That's an overview of 39 Melachos and these practical applications. So let me, just 1 second, let me quickly finish what he says here. It is our hope that this Sefer will meet the needs of the broad spectrum of people, from newcomers to traditional Judaism to the advanced Torah scholars. So this book is actually, it's like the footnotes. Of course, we skip them because it's not the purpose of this class. We're trying to get this only like bottom line, but the footnotes actually for the scholars to do research. The design of this Sefer reflects this intent. The main text, which states, explains, and illustrates the importance of halakhic principle, has been written in English. The footnotes on the bottom of each page contain both source reference and discussion of the principle delineated in the text has been written in Hebrew. So basically, this great rabbi, I think he's still alive. Well, one of my students was actually he stayed a few houses down from this rabbi. He lives in Muncie. Very interesting. And he was one of students of Moshe Feinstein's. That I'm not sure he's related or not, but I saw him a few times. So very humble person, very humble, very like emotional, humble person. HaShem. So I think we can stop here, and next time we're going to start learn overview. So all right. So any questions on what we said or did not say? Go ahead. Anything? Okay, go ahead. Anybody? Yeah, go ahead, please.
So let's say for the purpose, or for the sake of practicing, is a person allowed to, I don't know, any given random day throughout the week to pretend it's like Shabbos? Let's say it's like, I don't know, it's Wednesday. And then I would say like, okay, for the next 4 hours, I'm going to pretend it's Shabbos so that I can practice the Melachot, like not engaging into the Melachot and so on and so forth. Is that permitted?
Absolutely. So people, so if you want anything to be prepared, like to do it the right way, so you have to prepare. You have to prepare. Just 1 second. Let me switch the glasses. So believe it or not, B'siyata Dishmaya. So we learned with Rabbi Ruin this story that he said it's actually a story that happened. So I hope I remember this correctly. I heard it only today. I mean, I heard it before, but today I heard it one more time from Rabbi Ruin. So he said it's in a pre-war Europe, right? It was very, very famous, don't remember, I think it's Warsaw, right, in Poland, very famous jeweler. And once a lady came to his office and she said, I want to buy jewelry. He said, okay, nice to meet you. And she said, my name is this and this, and I'm wife of this famous psychiatrist or psychologist, this professor that has a clinic in Warsaw, like famous, like, very rich person. And this jeweler said, okay, what is the budget? He said, hey, I'm his only wife. What do you mean, what's the budget? Open budget, whatever we like, he's going to buy. She said. The guy got excited and he opened the safe inside of the safe. He got the best of the best, whatever he had, for millions and millions of dollars, I suppose. And she said, okay, you know what? You have a beautiful stuff. I like everything, but let me think about it. I can come back tomorrow. So she comes back tomorrow. Same time, they go, oh, miss this and that. She said, yes, look, I thought the whole night, but I cannot choose. So let me look at them one more time. He showed one more time. She said, you know what? I cannot choose. Let my husband choose. Look, he's paying money. Look, it's only fair if you show him. He said, the jeweler said, absolutely, let's do that. But she said, look, let's go to his clinic, right? He's now working. Let's go to his clinic and let him choose. They come to the clinic. She said, he's very busy. You see all of these people going back and forth. Let me quickly go to his office, show him. Whatever he chooses, he is going to write you a check. Whatever you tell us the price, he just signed the check, and we're going to put in the price. So no problem. Just give me 10 minutes stops. And she goes with all of these sets because she cannot choose. Right, and 10 minutes pass, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 3 hours, whatever hours pass, and the guy noticed. He goes back, he goes in, and he said, look, I'm so and so. They say, oh, we heard about you. Yes. I'm the jeweler. Yeah, jeweler. Yes, we heard about you. He said, is doctor in? He said, yeah, of course he's in. And can I see him? Yes, let's check with the doctor. They check with the doctor. Yeah, the doctor, yeah, he can see you. Okay, no problem. So he's going in. There's no wife of the doctor. And they say, my name is so-and-so. I say, yeah, doctor. Say, yeah, I know. And it's about jewelry for your wife. Yeah, I know about jewelry. And she disappeared. Yeah, I know. So come in. And the guy said, and they start talking. And the guy said, "Doctor, what's going on? Why are you saying all these things? Like, why are you treating me like that?" He said, "What do you mean? Like, you're patient. You came here because your wife brought you here, and then she said she was coming here for a few days and said that there is he has this idea that you owe him money, that the doctor owes money because of my jewelry, like all these crazy things." So, and this doctor, the jeweler, started crying. That he realized that this lady duped him like a baby. You understand? So the question is, how was she like? He was jeweler for many years. How was possible to dupe him like that, like a little boy? And the answer is, Rabbi Reuven Shlita explained, because she was prepared. She was prepared. She did not do it like from spontaneously. And same with us. So all of the Yetzer Hara, it is prepared, and we must be prepared. So if you start preparing for Shabbos on Shabbos, that's too late. You understand? So if you want to do it on Wednesday, if you're able to do it on Wednesday, do it on Wednesday. So don't some people start like testing timers, the hot plate on like not even testing, like plug in the first time on Friday. I said, you normal? So, or even on Friday, it's not normal on Friday. Do it on Sunday. Maybe it's not working. Maybe you did not read this, the manual correctly. So make sure, like on day when it's free, when you're free, when you can unplug, read the manual, adjust this, adjust that. Only then you can be successful in Shabbos. You understand? So that's the answer to your question. Absolutely, there is no problem whatsoever. Okay. That's the story. B'siyata d'shmaya. You understand? I learned it this morning, this story. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Any other questions that we can answer? Any topic? Okay, no questions. So we can then stop here. Yeah, go ahead. Questions?
I have more questions.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, so this is completely unrelated to what we're.
That's our topic. Any topic is our topic.
So Rabbi Reuven Shlita last night gave this Shiur, which was very, very deep. He kind of got into this Kabbalistic concepts of Yehud. Very, very interesting stuff. And he mentioned that
Yehud between man and woman.
No, Yehud between the thoughts of a person and the upper worlds.
Okay, all right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's related to Jewish intimacy, the series of Jewish intimacy.
Okay, yeah, uh-huh.
So he mentioned that big Mekubalim usually they kind of unify the 10 Sfirot, meaning the 10 midot that HaShem has,
Mm-hmm.
which are representative, like represented on it, in their head, in order to elevate their thoughts. This is like, of course, there's a lot more to it, but what I'm trying to say is, my question is, every time when we pray, our prayers start with this part that says L'Shem Yehud, which means for the sake of unifying the name of HaShem. Is this concept of unifying our thoughts with the upper worlds connected to this part of the prayer specifically?
Exactly. So that's so you want this channel to be open, right? So to your prayers to go upstairs. That's Hashem Yichud. Yes, that's what you want, the channel. So yeah.
So the ideal kavana that the person should have, in the future, because it's really hard to get to that point. I mean, this is something that is made by very, very elevated people, like big Mekubalim.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the ideal is to one day be capable of doing that and having that kavana during that part of the prayer, right?
I mean, we're talking about ideal high level. So how many years you need to get to this level? Of course, every person is different, so we have to remember. But at least so that's a very, very, very high level. So but we have to start from something. So at least try, like when you start, try to read words and try to stay on the page and try to like not allow your mind to wander. That's step number one before all of these Kabbalistic things. And believe it or not, it would for most of the people it's mission impossible to concentrate on the words. Forget about all of these spheros, about all these things. Just like stay on the page. And sometimes I like, unfortunately, it happens to me also. Like my mind starts wander. I say the words, and then I say, okay, once I was there, I have to turn to more pages. And so, unfortunately, like just to like you read, you're saying, but your mind is not there. So trying um, to stay on the page is for us, like on our level, that's a very big achievement, I would say. Okay. Yeah. Yes, go ahead. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Okay. So good. Next question, please.
Yeah. Okay. So I believe someone has.
No. I please for the other people, please check your microphone. Maybe it's not on mute, unless you wanna say something. So please mute yourself. Okay. No problem. Go ahead.
Okay. So some time ago, a couple of during the slices of Shmonei Prakim mentioned this concept of us being separated from our thoughts and HaShem being, his words and his thoughts are one thing, just as a way of understanding it. But then Rabbi Ruben kind of delved into these issues a little bit. So this question kind of aroused during this time that he was delving into this concept. Since we learned that Hashem's thoughts and actions are one thing, unlike us, that our thoughts are separate from us, would it make sense to say that the more we connect our thoughts with our actions, the more we'll resemble Him in some sort of way?
Yeah, I think so. So that's our goal. That's what we're working on. So many times people do things mechanically, and that's unfortunately you get used to, and people know the text, all of the prayers, the Shabbos prayers, and the holidays prayers. For example, when many years ago I was reading a book, right, Rabbi Zilber Zatzal, Yitzchak Zilber. So and when he was in the prison in Russia, so he remember. So for him, like to remember the text of Rosh Hashanah, like So could you mute your microphone? Sorry. Okay, she did. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. So he remembered the prayers of Rosh Hashanah by heart. You understand? There are other people who remember, but he was considered, but to remember prayers for Rosh Hashanah by heart, I mean, I hardly remember prayers for every day by heart. I mean, some pieces, yes, but to say that I can say without looking at Siddur from the beginning to the end, I don't think so. You understand? But he Rosh Hashanah is 7 times or 10 times longer. You understand? And he was a very holy person, but other people just remember and they saying the prayer very fast, and they just turn the page. The same because the mitzvahs, they trying to get rid of them and just continue to the next thing. You understand? So when we doing one mitzvah, so the most important mitzvah all sages teach is the mitzvah is in front of you. So you concentrate on whatever you're doing. The best possible way you can. The best possible way where you can get rid of these foreign thoughts, or whatever thoughts about your parnasa, this and that, what you're going to eat, what you're not going to eat, what time is it, what how bad you slept last night, all these things. So try to concentrate whatever you're doing, and that's a big achievement. I mean, maybe it sounds very simple, but when person started working on it, it's not so simple. It's not simple to control your mind. It's not. So of course it required work, but after some training you would be able to do it. Beezrat HaShem. So we try to do the simple but things that's very important, like whatever happens every day, like small things. Before drinking this cup of water, just try to think that what HaShem did to create this cup of water, right? And one time, it's a very interesting story out of Israel Salanter Zatzal. He the father of Musar movement. He was working with his students. What country was it? Maybe it was Czechoslovakia, maybe it was Hungary. Unfortunately, I don't remember. And they went to a cafe, right, of a Jew. So he said, "I'd like to get a cup of coffee," right? And he said, "Okay, I don't know, maybe it's expensive cafe." And he said, "How much is a cup of coffee?" And he gave him the price. I don't know, like in olden days, let's in today's money, let's say $10 cup of coffee. So $10 for a cup of coffee. What is then in the coffee? It's like water that you guys get from well for free in olden days, and few beans, like a powder of these beans. What is so expensive? Say, Rabbi, you seriously think that you paid for this water? Of course, water does not cost much. Of course, the beans are not so expensive, but you're paying for the whole interior, for the atmosphere, or for the guy playing on piano, or this light, that light, right? For the kitchen work and for the waiters, this and that. So for air conditioner, I mean for heat or whatever. In that time, no air conditioner, but for heat and that. So that's what you pay. It's not for coffee, but the whole for chairs, for fancy schmancy furniture. So that's what you're paying for. And Rabbi Salanter said, "Thank you very much. Maybe next time." Baruch Hashem, Tzlacha Rabbi, and he said to the students, "Okay, let's get some water." And they got him a cup of water, and he made the blessing. And he said, "It's the first time in my life, that I make the water with the full kavana. That I put like this guy taught me big musar. This restaurant owner taught me big musar. That like when you make the blessing of this cup of water, it's not only this. Is all of the creation that Hashem made, that in order for me to have this cup, it made from earthenware, from whatever it makes, from metal, this and that. How many people got involved in order for this cup to be in my hand? This water, it was clean, the rain water, this water, that water. So all of these beautiful things involved, and many times we don't pay attention. So he said, the first time in my life I actually paid attention, and I say the shechakol blessing, nihye bedvorov, is a full kavanah. And so for us, of course, it's always a lesson just to stop and I'm guilty myself on this. Always busy, always on the run, and sometimes you say blessing. Of course, I heard myself. I say blessing, but was it kavana? No, it just was this blessing. Unfortunately, I have to do the sure. Like it was like separation between me and this water that I wanted to drink. So that's not proper way. So we start working on ourselves from this simple but not so simple things, right? Okay. You're welcome.
Yes. Rabbi Reuben kind of explained this beautiful story of how Rav Kook would prepare himself coffee. There's a lot of kavana involved, and yeah, it's amazing. It's really amazing the way we can connect physicality through the spiritual worlds.
Mm-hmm.
It's something really mind-blowing, actually. By the way, I guess there was a lot of siyata d'ishmaya on Kabbalah Rav's answer, because I was thinking about that very specific book that Kabbalah Rav mentioned, because someone recommended it to me in the past, that this rabbi that was in jail in Russia. And I was thinking about this book not too long ago, like a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to buy it.
Yeah,
What was the name of the?
To remain a Jew. Yeah.
Remain a Jew. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay, that's an amazing book. You see how, I mean, he explained in simple words, and of course this great tzaddik Rabbi Rabbi Zilber, he tried to simplify things, but you see like how much suffering, how much not self-sacrifice went to his life to remain a Jew. It's like unbelievable. And I saw his videos online, and how he showed like how he was running with the water like in a prison. So he tried to work by himself, not as a team, by himself. So he would work faster, right, in order to save time, like 15 minutes from every hour, 10 minutes from every hour, because he was running with the buckets of water from the lake to the hill, because there were no like a plumbing, right? So he would bring all of the water for the whole camp, I think, right? So that was a crazy job, but he was running in order to learn Torah. So to save this 15 minutes to learn Torah, stand behind the curtain, and it was light, and then the light, they broke the light, so it was no light. So, and he learned how to read in a darkness, in a complete darkness. And he actually showed, there is a video, old video, I saw that he said, okay, give me any book, and he covered like himself, and he was able to read. So like a presentation, how he trained himself to read in a complete darkness. That's the thing. Okay. Any other questions? Any topic? Okay. No question. Okay, so let's stop here. Yeah, go ahead.
Question. What was the name of the book that we read today?
The Laws of Yom Tov. The Laws of Yom Tov. If you have this Laws of Shabbos, it's same set. Just another one.
Yeah, I bought the whole set, but I didn't see that book on it. I don't know. It's like it's the purple one. Oh.
Yes, purple. Yes, purple. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I saw it within the set.
No, it should be there. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, no problem. So let's stop. So tomorrow we're going to continue with our kosher kitchen class. Same time, please join us. Thank you very much, and good night. Thank you.